Did you know Hiramashima has already had plans of having Natsu and Lucy married and even having a kid as well? Hiramashima stated in an interview before that he's always liked a main female and male protagonist getting together at the end of the series. The high probability of this is very much shown in the ending of Rave Master when you get to see the main two characters, Haru and Ellie, get together at the end of the series and even having a kid. Hiramashima has even stated as well in the interview as well that if Natsu and Lucy had a son, that they would call it Nashi. Natsu's personality and antics is actually a little bit more close to home to Hiramashima, as he's actually stated before that he sees himself as Natsu, as it really reminds him as how he used to be during his junior high school years. Although the motion sickness is actually inspired by a friend himself and actually put it in there, Natsu's fiery passion and his crazy antics as you've seen in the manga is definitely what Hiramashima definitely sees himself doing as he was as a little kid, and acting before thinking. Very much shown in Natsu's personality throughout both the manga and the anime. Even adding in the fact with both of his previous main characters, Haru and Natsu from Rave Master and Fairy Tail, both of them not having their fathers in the series is actually a thing that Hiramashima has experienced in his own life, not having his own father around him. A lot of fairy tale names don't actually just come from Western and Japanese names, albeit we do have Natsu, which is Japanese for summer. We have a lot more interesting names like we do with the main antagonist of the series, Zereth. Zereth the Black Widow's name is a spin on the word Seraph, which is a dragon-like angel that has involvement with fire, which is definitely a hint at Natsu and Zereth's relationship very early on in the series before confirmations about their relationship. Lucy Heartfilia's name actually comes from the Beatles song Lucy in the Diamond Sky. Even Mira Jane actually comes from one of his friend's usernames on one of their many video games and actually just decided to put it into the series. Even to the weirder, bizarre ones of Gajeel, his name is derived from the Japanese word kajiru, which means to gnaw or to bite, but was later changed with a ga sound to sound like it was eating, which is shown in his character as he's always eating metal and is always either biting or gnawing on it during the anime and the manga. Did you know that McNeil is actually the narrator of Fairy Tail? You can definitely see this in the first episode of the Japanese and English dub of the series. However though, did you know his voice actor has a lot more closer attachment to dragons than you originally think? As he was also the voice as well for Omega Shenron in Dragon Ball GT. You already know him for the Dragon Ball GT series as well as Omega Shenron. He's also doing the voice of Dragon from One Piece. And the fact that Igneel was actually narrating through like very early on in the stories, it was very hinted as well that he was going to stay throughout the entire run, since the entire Fairy Tail anime series was supposed to end during the Daphne arc, and that there have been rumors along the anime studio that the actual story itself, or his original ending, was going to be finished off with Igneel saying his final piece and actually seeing, right at the last scene, a dragon, although that's going more into fan theory. Buster was supposed to be the 10th Rave Master in Fairy Tail. Although there's been hints many a times that the Fairy Tail and the Rave series has been connected, even having a spin-off Fairy Tail X Rave, very early hints of this was actually shown, as we saw in Grateful Buster's necklace is actually the pendant for the Rave itself. Whether this idea was eventually scrapped, that isn't actually the first time these powers have been scrapped altogether. He was also as well supposed to be an Ice Dragon Slayer, which was being planned to be implemented, but by the time of Tenrojima arc, it was entirely scrapped and toyed again during the Grand Magic Games, which just ended up with Hiramashima ending up turning him into an Ice Devil Slayer as we know today, since the Tartarus arc in both the anime and the manga. One of the characters that had the most changes out of everyone would probably have to be Lucy Heartfilia. Although Urza's design did go for a more wild version other than even having a spear, Lucy's design is completely a near overhaul from what she now looks like in the series. One thing is that her original weapon was actually supposed to be cards, but was repeatedly used in other series and later on would be used as for Kana Albach's weapon in Fairy Tail. Ended up going with the whip and the celestial keys instead. Looking at her original design from what was showed, she's shown like more of the hint of a rich family life, being accompanied by a butler and also as well having curly locks and as well a frilled skirt and heels. Whilst in the finalized version of Fairy Tail, you had no idea that she wasn't originally a very rich family. Twintails, a short hair, and normally with her thigh-high boots. Although he finally finalized the design to what we know as Lucy as we now know. Although that doesn't stop Hiramashima from definitely changing up the girls in the series. Hiramashima has actually done a vast amount of manga that some people have actually probably never even heard about. and even stuff that he's been doing ever since the start of Rave Master and Fairy Tail. Here that his biggest works are Rave Master, or in Japanese known as Rave, during 1999 to 2005 being his biggest break in the manga industry. Already by 2003 he already had a one-shot for Fairy Tail. Hitting it during the last 2 years of Rave Master was actually wrapping up to the finale of the arc. Then during the Fairy Tail manga that started in 2006, it stopped him at all from doing other manga and one-shots during this time as well. Series known as Monster Soul, although a very short series, started in 2005, but it ended in 2007, so he was working with this whilst the start of Fairy Tail committed. Well, Monster Hunter Orange, 2008 to 2009, so Jolaze to Taiyo one-shot, Star Biter Satsuki, isn't even including the amount of Fairy Tail work and light novels that he does, doing the entirety of Fairy Tail Zero 12 chapter story and arc, and supervising over Fairy Tail Ice Trail, Fairy Tail Gaiden Sabertooth, Fairy Tail Gaiden Gajiel Road Knight, Fairy Tail Blue Mistral, not to mention the crossovers that he's done as well, being the Fairy Tail X 7 Deadly Sins, Fairy Tail Cross Rave, Fairy Tail X Parasite, and Fairy Tail Yankee-kun to Megane-chan. Although Fairy Girls is a spin-off of Fairy Tail, it isn't supervised by him at all. This isn't even including the amount of special chapters that he's done as well for the series, also as well writing the scripts for the first and second movie. With this as well, he also does a numerous amount of double to triple chapters, even sometimes with being the biggest amount, doing like sometimes to 20 to 30 pages sometimes, even like doing a lot, and still the man has not passed out or died. What you want about his story writing, but Hiramashima is probably one of the most hard-working mangakas of all time at the moment, just going non-stop writing for his series, and shows that he has a great big passion for the stuff that he loves. Last bit of trivia, which is very much known by a lot of people, is that even though Fairy Tail is probably one of the most popular shonen anime, it's actually the one that has probably some of the least amount of filler that is currently ongoing. Even the filler arcs that has been done, mainly the Keys of the Starry Sky arc, is actually done by Hiramashima himself. Actually even made canon at one point, and actually even made a nod to it during chapter 282 of the manga when they actually make a hint to this. And as well, not being confirmed that he wrote the story for the Eclipse Celestial Spirits arc, he did however do the character designs for this arc as well. And even considering that both of them are about like 48 episodes if you count both of them together, and even the few side little filler episodes, Fairy Tail probably has around about like 50 plus episodes of filler out of its entire run, which is a very short amount of filler compared to many series that have been going on for a long time, like Naruto, Bleach, One Piece, and many more. Thank you very much for watching this video. It's been a great pleasure giving you these interesting facts. Some of them you might know, some of them you probably even didn't. This has been Savagezweipanda, and if you definitely enjoyed this video and want to see more Fairy Tail videos in the future, hit up the like and subscribe button down below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.